The Trump administration is rolling back Biden-era climate spending, canceling $30 billion in green energy loans. Darren Botello joins us now with the latest. Hi, Darren.
Hi, good afternoon, Taylor. So the Trump administration is calling this the Green New Scam. The administration canceling nearly $30 billion in green loans from the Biden administration and revising another $53 billion. So $83 billion in total. For some, it might sound like the Biden administration was just a big fan of the environment and protecting Mother Earth for all of us. But consider this, Taylor. The Energy Department found that more money was dispersed in the final months of the Biden era than in 15 of the previous years combined. And the Department of Energy eliminated about $9.5 billion in financing. We're talking for wind and solar projects, replacing them with investments in natural gas and nuclear updates to make more energy affordability, like reopening the 3 Mile Island that we talked about right here on this program. This was a little while ago, the power plant in Pennsylvania. In October, it canceled nearly $8 billion in grants that supported hundreds of clean energy projects. This was in 16 states. At the time, the Energy Department halted 223 projects after a, quote, thorough individualized review. Just about an hour ago, we spoke with Energy Secretary Wright about these savings for consumers.
As you looked at that $100 billion that was committed to loans, precisely zero of it was going to do something that was going to lower the cost of energy for Americans or expand the production of reliable, affordable energy for Americans. It was driven really in the name of climate politics. The climate activists will celebrate less our activities, but American taxpayers and businesses will celebrate what we're doing.
And after that big storm yesterday, Secretary Wright also pointed out the massive amount of inefficient energy New England was using, even burning trash for heat and to power those TVs. To watch the Pats punch their ticket to the Super Bowl, we'll see some more next month with the Seahawks after they win. And the need for the Constitution pipeline through the Northeast.
Obama and Biden have driven us into a ditch and driven electricity prices up and made energy security right now more of a risk. So I encourage all the New England residents to engage with their local politicians and regulators and express your desire to have more secure, lower cost energy. It's easily deliverable. The Constitution pipeline that's been on the plans for many years is ready to be constructed.
And I can't name names right now, but I was told a majority of high-ranking government officials in the Northeast are in favor of the pipeline. There's only one very liberal governor standing in their way. Taylor?
I have a lot of bones to pick with you, Darren. I am a 49ers fan, and your little Seattle comment throwaway in there.
Oh, boy.
You and I have words after the show.
I'm with you, Darren.
He's in trouble.
Drake, let's go, Drake May, baby.
Goodbye, Darren. All right, let's get serious. Back to business. Jackie, the standout line to me, not the Seattle Seahawks, the final months of the year, more money was dispersed than in 15 years combined. Should I be relieved that at least in the previous 15 years, we weren't blowing all of our money and at least we can try to undo what was done in the last few months? Or are we more concerned that all of that money was just sitting there unused?
It's one way to look at it, to look on the bright side. But I would say this, we were reporting on all of that extra money that was sitting there and how we were projecting that the Biden administration would spend it. That was their main objective in the last few months of the year, was to blow all that money at any pet project, any cause that they, was near and dear to their heart before Trump could get his hands on it. I appreciate that they're working on trying to cancel some of that and claw some of it back. But the Energy Secretary brings up a really important point, which is that is also money that could be used to invest in things that would help our energy infrastructure. Pipelines, for example. No matter how much oil we have underneath the ground, without the infrastructure to move it around the country properly, efficiently, safely, which we have proven that pipelines can do, it doesn't really do us very much good. And also, you're sitting here and looking at this storm that walloped the East Coast over the last few days. All of these people who were saying, let's spend this money on windmills and solar panels, because that's going to be able to give us the heat and energy we need when Mother Nature dumps 20 inches of snow in your backyard. But also this idea of, climate change in general. If we are experiencing such rapid amounts of global warming, then why would we be getting storms and icy temperatures.
Yeah, it's kind of cold.
Like
I
this.
miss
It's kind of
global-
cold.
I kind of miss global warming. I just came back from Davos. I've been at Davos a lot, particularly the last 3 years. It was a time I used to cover Fox Business, then I took a little break, and now I've been doing it again, not for Fox Business, for a private company. But one of the things I noticed is no talk about ESG, or very little.
No.
So even the global elite has backed off this climate obsession, green energy garbage,
now.
because they know it's counterproductive. It forces Europe to buy oil from Russia to finance Russia's invasion of Ukraine. I mean, just think about how stupid it is. One other point, and I think this is key, because you said, Biden spent 15 times more than the last 15 years or whatever it was. Biden made a crack once, and I'm paraphrasing a little bit. He goes, basically said that Barack Obama was jealous of him because he's been more transformational than Barack Obama. And this kind of proves it. And what does transformational mean in a lefty's eyes? Well, far more progressive. I mean, the Biden administration, let's face it, was almost as socialist as Zohran Mamdani in so many ways, whether it's culturally with the trans issue and DEI, or on the economy, just how much they spent. Remember, all those bills in his first year, 3 trillion, 4 trillion, 9 trillion. It was never ending. So transformation, they were transformational, and to the left, and here's proof.
David, your thoughts. You talked about, when we think about wind and solar, that directly benefits China, versus when we think about using the money, clawing that back. I believe it was Chris Wright who was saying to help with nuclear, 3 Mile Island, which benefits the U.S.
Well, it also directly benefits, it does do that, but it also directly benefits corrupt politicians. It lends itself to scams so easily. I got a little place up in Cape Cod that I've had for about 25 years now, and Cape Cod was about to put in all of these windmills that the people didn't want. How? Because all these people that were getting subsidies from the government, these people who had contacts within the Biden administration, getting paid millions and millions of dollars, they managed to corrupt, I would say, enough local townships in that area to push through these measures to allow windmills. Of course, remember Obama, you mentioned Obama being part of this whole thing, being jealous of the Biden administration. Remember Solyndra? I mean, and you find that all over Europe as well. Spain has had problems with corrupt political projects, these green political projects, et cetera. So I'm not at all surprised. The main thing, though, that this administration is doing is not just stopping the scandals, but reinventing fossil fuel production in the United States. Reinventing it, realizing we cannot survive on windmills and solar alone. We have to, maybe we'll get into the nuclear as well. That could be a good thing, but we need fossil fuels because they are reliable. We got to get back.
You also need nuclear, and I think, belatedly, I think they're starting to make some moves.
I think so.
The administration is. And by the way, another thing in Davos, Europe finally coming to the conclusion we need nuclear. We need to be able to power our grids.
Because it's real baseload energy.
It is real energy, and it's the cleanest form of energy as long as it doesn't melt down.
As long as it doesn't melt down, right?
Brian, your quick thoughts.
You know what? It's great to claw back loans, but that'll get fought in the courts, and some of this will get clawed back, and some of it won't. The problem is when you spend it in the first place, and that's Congress. Thank goodness the Trump administration is going after this, but you got to get to the point where you stop putting the money out the door in the first place, because that's what kills you at the end of the day.
I agree. Coming up, the impact of the winter storm continues with power